because a couple of days before we had the Vyasa Puja Guru Purnima. This is a great occasion. Basically, it is being celebrated as Vyasa Puja all over in all streams because Krishnam Mande Jagat Guru, he is the first Guru. Following his Veda Vyasa, he is the supposed to be the Guru. He is also avatara of the Mahavishnu. He is otherwise known as Krishna Dvaipayana. Dvipa is isn't Jambu Dvipe, because when we see the entire India is sort of a continent, it is a sort of island. Once in its in Jambu Dvipe, there's a Lemuria, continent was there. It was like an island, it was an island, Jambu Dvipe. That's why, whenever we say it is Jambu Dvipe, Krishna Dvaipayana, he was also born in Dvipa. It is a sort of an island near Ganges, because his mother Satyavati was basically a fisherwoman. And Parasara, because we know the story, how the divine, when there is a cloud, finally she conceived and to give birth to the Vyasa and all. The entire Vyasa Puja is being done, for a variety of occasions because the entire knowledge for the mankind has come from Veda Vyasa. It is from 4 Vedas he divided. Not only that, he wrote the Brahma Sutram. Brahma Sutram is Bhadrayana Sutram, as it is being called. He is also called Bhadrayana because he was residing in the area of Badri. And he was also known as Krishna Dvaipayana because he was born in an island, Dvipa. Dvaipayana. He is basically an avatar of the Mahavishnu. He is called Krishna Dvaipayana. That's why it's being called. So he gave us all those Brahma Sutram. For that, the Bhashyam has been written by the Brahma Sutram. What he has given, it is not, they are all aphorisms. Aphorisms of about 540 to 560, depending upon how the Acharyas have taken. Some of the aphorisms have been split and taken for the purpose of interpretation. In English, it is called hermeneutics, because it is a sort of a how to interpret the acharyas, when they sort of construct a philosophy based on their understanding of the entire Veda Upanishad, they have done. So based on that, the number will vary, because the Shankara Bhashyam may be 540 plus, and so is Ramanuja Bhashyam will be about 550 to 560. The Madhva Bhashyam will be something more. But these are all the aphorisms are same. They have been either split or they have been combined together for the purpose of interpretation. That's why it is going to. The Brahma Sutram is the constitution by which the entire Veda and Upanishad can be understood. In the sense, because Veda and Upanishad, as we have seen, every word has got minimum 3 meanings. Kanishta Trayartaha. It can be more also, depending upon what one can see. In fact, Veda Vyasa in his Brahmacharya days before taking over, he has tried to find 64 meanings, even 100 meanings. Because like for that, based on, because what they call Anusandhana. Anusandhana is constant reflection and research, what is being happening. So when it is being done, because this is the based on which the entire, because it is such a great secret to understand. That's why the Veda and the Upanishad, everything is considered to be secret. You will have to, apparent meaning you will not be able to take. You will have to etymologically get into the meaning of that behind the words, in what context it is said. And that is why, the Acharyas have to give the Bhashyam to us. Without that, it is impossible for us to understand all the Vedas, Upanishads and all. So having taken that, the Brahma Sutram is one of the major thing, and he has made, we might all knowing, all the 4 Vedas. He gave Rig Veda to Phaila and Yajur Veda to Rig Veda to Phaila and Yajur Veda to Vaishampayana and Samaveda to Jaimini and Atharva Veda to Sumantaka. He gave to all the 4 because representative words. They have to propagate and they have to develop the rishis under them by imparting the knowledge to them in the Gurukula. So he is the Mula, and he wrote the biggest epic called Mahabharata. He wrote all the 18 Puranas. Whatever Purana we are thinking of, all the Puranas are written by Veda Vyasa only. All the 18, whether it is Shiva Purana, whether it is Brahmanda Purana, whether it is Skanda Purana, everything is written by him only. But if you see, the focus of each Purana will be different. And another is in each Purana, he has tried to bring in the various concepts repeatedly as a Upapurana. For instance, Narasimha Purana is a Upapurana in one of the Puranas. The Vamana Purana is a Purana. In the Skanda Purana, you got a lot of sub-Puranas like Tirthas, all the Tirtha Prabandham, like we called all the Tirtha Yatris, everything is brought in. He has brought in with a purpose so that whenever you read any Puranam, you will also see the concepts of other Puranams coming as a Upapuranam in that. So you will be knowing the concept. If you want to elaborate, you will go to that Puranam. So likewise, it is very big, he has given us the gift. Without Vyasa, I think none of the entire, the Sanatana Dharma would have come with all the propositions of all the philosophies would not have come. Having come to that, he wrote the biggest epic called Mahabharata. Mahabharata is almost considered to be, it is considered to be the fifth Veda. There is no concept that is not available in Mahabharata which can be explained in any other way, in any other religion, in any other context. It covers the whole gamut of it. In all the Parvas are called Upaparva, and in Upaparvas, there are so many kandas. If you take into account, it is a full epic, because it's 100. Ramayana is having 24,000 slokas representing the 24 letters of Gayatri. That's why, every 1,000 slokas of Ramayana, if you take the first letter and go on assembling it, you will be getting the Gayatri. So likewise, Mahabharata, it is supposed to be 100,000, but the actual number is supposed to be more than 100,000. It is so 100,000 slokas are there, 125,000. That's what they say as available, because there are variety of versions. And the recension, because the southern version is there, northern version is there. So they are all being reconciled, and there are debates and all going on. And he has given us in fact, without Mahabharata and 4 Vedas and Upanishads, the entire Sanatana Dharma could not have stood on any other foundation. That's why Vyasa is very, very important. Krishnam Mande Jagadgurum, he gave Bhagavad Gita, which is again a part of Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, it comes as a separate chapter. The 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita is embedded into Mahabharata. It is again being written by Vyasa. That's why when we have said in one of the talks, we have said the Gita is supposed to be Paurushika because it was given by the God to the mankind, and it was written by Vyasa in the Mahabharata for the benefit of the mankind. Whereas the Vedas and Upanishads, they are Auparushaya. There is no authorship. They have all come from a variety of sources. The rishis, by their constant tapas, it has come. So that is why, because the Auparushaya, when you are not able to get that, finally it has been brought into the Veda. All the Veda Upanishad Sara has been brought as Bhagavad Gita, which has again been given to us by Sri Krishna Dvaipayana. His puja was conducted on the Guru Purnima by all the mutts, all the acharyas everywhere, all over, and including even some part of the other part of the world also it is taking place. If you see the Sahasranamam itself, because we will be coming to know Vyasam Vasishta Naptaram Saktai Pautram Akalpusham Parasaratmajam Mande Sukatatam Taponiti. It's almost give the lineage of Vyasa. He is the great grandson of Vasishta. Vyasam Vasishta Naptaram Saktaihi Pautram Akalpusham. Saktai Rishi is the Pautra, is the grandson. Sakti Pautram Akalpusham Parasaratmajam Mande. He is the son of Parasara. So the Parasara is the one, and Sukatatam. Suka Brahma is his son, that Vyasa's son, who finally brought this Bhagavatam recital, to Janamejaya and all those things through Vaishampayana, and when it took place. It is the Sukhasthal, where it is being, Naimisharanya, if you go, the Bhagavatam is being recited in a place called Sukhasthal. That is where Sukha Brahmam, has taken this entire concept of Bhagavatam and given it to Parikshit when he had 7 days to live in this world. This is the concept, because based on that, because not only that, because same Vishnu Sahasranam, Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave, because he is the one who is avatara of Vishnu also. So that is how he took avatara, because there are almost 24 names we know about Vishnu, but there are about 40 avatars. And it's a great concept, because we may take some time to see what are all the avatars, which is not in prominence, why it has been taken and all, like Dhanvantari, and so many avatars are there. We will see the purpose and why it has been taken and all. This is just to do, because on Vyasa Puja, it's being done mainly because when you do Vyasa Puja, whatever afflictions are there in the place, whether it is a seasonal affliction, or it is because of the pandemic, or it is because of the something else, all the afflictions of the people will go if it is done by those who are eligible to do. For instance, there is an instance of the Mahaparivar. He was coming to Andhra Pradesh. He was having, before Chaturmasha, he was going, because Vyasa Puja is the day when the Chaturmasha begins. See, after that Ekadasi preceding Vyasa Puja, the Chaturmasa begins. All the saints are not supposed to be moving for 4 months during the season, mainly because it is a sort of a rainy season, and lot of insects will be there. And those insects should not be affected by your activities. You should not be moving around. Otherwise, you will be parivrajika, because you will be moving around. That's why all the acharyas are called parivrajika, because they will have to be constantly on the move. They should not stay in a place. But during that particular period, they will have to stay in a place, and they will have to impart whatever knowledge and there for the benefit of the mankind. So in Andhra Pradesh, when it was it's happening, because as Mahaparival was going through a particular place, he didn't have any sort of plan to be in a particular place. He was just moving. But suddenly one place he said, asked his entourage to stay there. He said, tomorrow we will do Vyasa Puja here, then we will move on. Because there, that particular area, it is a sort of Rayalaseema area. They were not having any rain. And lot of drought was there, and a lot of calamities were there. So the Perival decided to stay there and do the Vyasa Puja, and stay there, for a fortnight or so, to enable, for the welfare of that entire place. And afterwards, it's recorded, and there was a rain, profuse rain was there, and as well as a lot of other facilitation for their people and all. Because that is the duty of the Mahans. Because it's not that they are doing, once they understand this is the place where you have to do, Vyasa Puja has got that importance. Likewise, Vyasa Puja, when you do in the house also, it is not for the welfare of the only family and all. It is for the welfare of the entire place around, for entire surrounding, for entire people around. It is for a great common purpose. We had that recently. So that is, I thought I will bring to the notice on this occasion. So we also had a Guru Purnima. So we pray to the Krishnam Mande Jagatkurum, the Veda Vyasa, Jayati Parasara Sunuhu, Satyavati Hritaya Nandano Vyasaha. That's what, how it is been said. We will pray to them. And finally from there, because from his Brahma Sutram only has given rise to all the philosophies. Brahma Sutram, Upanishad, and Bhagavad Gita, they are called Prasthanatraya, by giving the interpretation of 3 great these works. That is how the respective philosophies have come, be it Advaita, be it Visishtadvaita, Dvaita, Suddha Advaita, because Nimbarka or everyone has given that philosophy. This is based on all the 3. Anything is being called as a philosophy only if there is an interpretation of all these 3 major works: Veda, Upanishad, Brahma Sutram, and Bhagavad Gita. So any Acharya, he has to be an Acharya, he should have interpreted and he should have written Bhashya on that. That's why we have got almost 22 Bhashyas are supposed to be there, last being the one by Madhvacharya. But there are certain other Bhashyas have also come into light. I think it is a very interesting thing we will share on some other occasion, because the Rashtriya Samskrita Pracharani Sabha has identified one which has been written by a king in UP, in Reva. He has written a beautiful bhashya on that. Because it was not brought to light, it was also there. Because he was a very, very sort of highly enlightened king. He has done that. This is for the purpose of information, because we had such a great people. So if we don't know, because some other person might have also done the work, nothing has come to light, because they are all in the respective places. This being the case, we will proceed to the Upanishad per se and all. Last week we have seen why, because the question number 20, which he has been asked, very, very, it is a sort of a very innocuous question. What happens to the soul after it leaves the body? And it is we have explained in detail almost last two sessions. We only focused on that. We also saw how it is being interpreted by other philosophies as well as other religions, how they have taken and all. Yayam prete vichiksa manushye astite na astite cheyeke, because that is what the debate that is going on. Yetat vidyam anusishtat tvaya aham. I wanted to know from that. This is the last question he has asked. But for that, because all these explanations has come about, because so many people are seeing so many other things and all. Finally, we also came to the sort of, some of the acharyas, what they have written, because Shankaracharya has said, because the soul is